What's up, guys? Today we are going to be changing out the thermostat. We're also going to be doing a coolant flush. So we already got started here a little bit. First thing we're going to do is take the Y off. That's from our cold side for our intake, going into the charge pipes of the turbo. So we'll take those off first. You can see it just opens up a nice little space here. You can see our thermostat hiding down below here, our housing. So first thing we're going to do is, you can see those little the hose clamps. Just go and get some pliers. If you have the special hose clamp pliers, we're going to get in there and then we'll squeeze, get the hose off. At that point we'll be able to take off that thermostat housing. Alright, so we got that hose off. A little bit of finessing, make sure you have a drain pan underneath before you do. And now got two 10mm bolts on either side of the housing. Make sure you get a decent size extension, and then we'll get right in there. Nope, actually I was wrong. They're not 10s, they are 8s. Gotta love Ford and their love for 8mm bolts. See, it's a little bit tricky to get in there, but you can. Just have to get those off. And then we'll get in there to replace the thermostat and the gasket, seal it back up, and proceed with our flush. Alright, so we got our housing off. You can see our thermostat right down there. Everything's straight to our drain pan underneath. So now what we're going to do is we're going to pull the thermostat, put a new gasket on, put everything back, and then we'll start our flush. Alright, so we got the new thermostat in there. Zoom in a little bit to show you. But this kind of thermostat setup's kind of weird because you put the thermostat in and it wants to fall out. So what you got to do is you got to put the thermostat in, and then you got to put the gasket in. And the gasket is a little thick rubber O-ring, and it goes into a little channel in there. So you have to hold the thermostat in and then kind of set that all the way around the channel, and then that retains the thermostat in there. So you'll know what's in there when everything is, the rings actually expand, it's not squished anymore. When you put it in, you kind of got to squish it in, but you got that in. So we're going to put our housing back on, put our hoses back on, and then we'll go and flush this bad boy. Alright, we got the thermostat all buttoned up. Now we're going to get the radiator drained and start to flush it. So coming from underneath here, this is right into the passenger's wheel well. See if I can get a good shot of it. So basically right up in here, it's got a little red knob. That is what's called a pickcock. And that is what will open up the drain. It's kind of like a regular household hose bib outside for your garden hose. Have a little bottom hole right here. Attach a little piece of hose to it. If you don't want the coolant flying everywhere, run that into your catch basin. Then go in lefty-loosey on the little red knob there, and you'll go and start draining the coolant out. So we'll get ahead and get to doing that. Got a scrap piece of hose we can put on there, run that into my little catch can here, and we'll drain that out. Alright, we got that going. Draining out, not the quickest thing in the world. So at this point, you just kind of sit back and wait. And at this point, I'm probably going to go and have a beer, see about grabbing some meat real quick, and we'll come back when it's done. Alright, so that's pretty much drained out. All it's going to drain out like that. What we're going to do is we're going to go and flush it. Got a 2.5 gallons distilled water. We'll just put that in the overflow and let that run out here. Alright, so instead of letting it all just flush out, you see I got most of it in there. What I'm doing is I'm letting it start up, and then from here I'm letting it get to operating temperature. I got a Fork Pro on my phone monitoring the Bluetooth OBD2 so you can see the exact temperature. Should open up. We just put in a 190 degree thermostat. And so with that, it should open up right around 185 or 95. That's when it's fully open. Have all the coolant from the engine flushing through. And it's already flushed out from what was in the radiator. So make sure we get all that out as much as we can. And so once that is all done and flushed out and up temp and running through, we'll drain it again, finish off with distilled water, and make sure everything's all out. After that, we can go ahead and fill it up. We're using the Xerix G05. It's orange, which is made for this, for the 2011-2014 3.5 Ecoboost. So fill that in 50-50 with the concentrate with Xerix G05 and 2 gallons of distilled water, about 4 gallons total. That's what we're looking at right now, just getting everything else flushed out. Alright, so went and got everything drained, went to fill back up. It only took about a gallon of the G05 antifreeze. So came in here, got everything started, got everything up to temp, blasted the heater and see if it would cycle through. It wasn't really working too well, so basically I'm going to have to go and rev it up here about 35, leave it for a while, make sure everything cycles, and then I go back out, coolant levels down some, able to add a little bit more and repeat. So basically what I'm doing is just kind of getting all the air out, making sure everything cycles through. So I just filled it up, it was topped off all the way. And so went from about here down to about here, and this is about the second time I did that. Also replaced the radiator cap while I'm at it, but yeah, just gotta keep on repeating that. I'm gonna let it cool down a little bit here in a minute if it's not going down more, and then see how it looks after that when it's cold. Start it back up again and see if we can get the rest of the coolant in.